My whole life I've been waiting for that moment when it all starts to make sense.
You got a truck that's out of gas in the city, you gotta find it, and we got something the band needs tonight, okay? So get him back here, you know what to do.
Another night, another show. I do what they tell me. I go where they send me. But sometimes the moment that changes everything is the one you never see coming.
We sat 3 years ago in Belfast and had a chat about what could we do with this experience that would be different and unique, take it somewhere else, and how could we create a, what we constantly try to do for our fans and for ourselves is to just, create different Metallica experiences and different, undertakings, and what do we do that's different? And so the idea of this film had been sort of floating around for the better part of 15 years, actually. And so getting a chance to do it now, and the main thing that we did, I think, was just treat the whole thing like a film shoot. We created the stage for the film, and everything about the film shoot, was sort of, it was a controlled environment rather than having 20,000 people in a concert environment. So it just was contained in a different way, and we're proud of the fact that people seem to be reacting to it so well.
Right. And Dane, this is different for you. You didn't get to say very much, did you?
No, for sure. It was a one of a kind, and I think undeniably cool project to get to work on, and definitely one of the challenges of it artistically was not having any lines, and going through this journey and not saying anything, and the challenge of doing that, and hopefully still doing it believably enough that the audience goes along for the ride with me.
Yeah. Have you been a Metallica fan for years?
Well, honestly, not for years. I really started to listen to them a lot while I was making Place Beyond the Pines, because I was decided that my character would like to listen to it, and I gained an appreciation for it then. And then, I got this call to do this project, and it just seemed way too cool. And then, that was the first time I had seen them in concert, and seeing the show 4 nights in a row, and seeing the band and getting to know the band and the fans, and the release that they give so many people, and the amazing show they put on. I definitely left the experience a huge fan.
Yeah. So how cool is this then? You get to do all this.
It's pretty cool. It is pretty cool.
Oh, it's great. And
that's a two-way street, by the way. So,
oh yeah, exactly. Well,
Trust
I mean,
me.
you've seen his work, and so was that part? Did you have him in mind after seeing?
Well, when we partnered up with Nimrod and he created the character of Trip, I was can't remember where I was, but I got a phone call from one of our producers saying that Dane DeHaan was available, and I called everybody and just said, whatever happens, we have to get him. I'd seen him in Chronicle with my kids, not knowing anything, then catching up in Treatment, and then subsequently saw him obviously in Lawless and Lincoln that fall. And then obviously after we did our experience with Pines and all the rest of it, but Dane just has something different, and you know, when there are a lot of very competent actors out there in their early to mid 20s, but when I saw Chronicle, I mean, I'm not just saying this, I walked out of the theater and IMDb'd him.
Yeah.
And because he was there was something about the face that was so magnetic. And when we're doing all the first probably 5 cuts of this film, we're sitting with our director, we're just sitting, put more Dane in, less of the band members, more Dane, and ultimately we actually ended up doing reshoots because we wanted more Dane in, and he was tied up with some small spider something film, and so it was difficult to get him, but we got him just enough to get a little more Dane, thankfully.
Oh, that's great.
I think it's the only film I've done where everything we shot
Every
it
single
made it in
Yeah, there
movie
are no
and more.
There are no DVD extras.
Yeah, there are no DVD extras.
You're just that good. Well, the show is the Drew Pearson Show, and Drew famously caught the Hail Mary pass. And I think everyone has a Hail Mary moment in their life where they just had to go for it and didn't think it was going to work out, but it did. What do you suppose that was in your careers?
I don't know. When I think of Metallica's career, I always think that we have a lot of those. I mean, we just go for it. Way too often I sit there afterwards and go like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? What were we thinking? But for a band that's been around as long as I'm proud of the fact that we're still as impulsive as we are.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, my career is pretty young. But I guess if I had like a real go for it Hail Mary kind of moment, it was probably when I moved to LA.
Yeah.
You know, I left New York and I had kind of this whole really wonderful theater community behind me, but I moved to LA in pursuit of getting into films, and it could have gone either way, but I think I caught the pass. So
Perfect.
Touchdown.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, last thing, we're here in Toronto for the Toronto Film Festival, and there's so much great stuff to do here. Are you going to get to see any other films or do anything else while you're here?
I've actually informed the wonderful people that work for us that I'm going to see a film every night for my own sanity, because if I'm going to do all this press and hear myself talk all day, then I need to at least have a couple hours of Lars time. I saw 12 Years a Slave last night, which just completely blew my mind, and I'm going to see Labor Day tonight.
Great.
Labor Day tonight. And so I'm getting a little bit of Lars time.
That's great. You get some Dane time?
Well, I have 3 movies here,
Yeah,
so
there's no Dane time.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch all of my movies and talk about all of my movies.
I'm going to drag him to Labor Day tonight. He just doesn't know it yet.
Well, hopefully you don't get too tired of talking about yourselves. Thank
All right.
you so much for being with us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Nice talking to
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate it.